Hello friends, in the year 1945, in December, at 2:10 p.m., 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bomber aircraft take off from Florida. This flight is called Flight 19. They have to perform a 3-hour routine training mission, meaning it was not any kind of special flight. They were flying to conduct their regular training missions. There are 14 crew members on the flight who are being led by a flight leader who is a very experienced pilot and also a war veteran. These 5 planes take off and fly in the east direction from Florida. Everything is going normal. The weather is quite clear, but around 2 hours after takeoff, their squadron leader reports that suddenly there are problems with their compass. Their compass stops working. They take out their backup compass, but the backup compass also fails. They do not know where their position is. Actually, they ask the pilots of the other planes, and their instruments also start malfunctioning. The squadron leader's name is Lieutenant Charles Carroll Taylor, and after the compass failure, many confusing messages are heard over the radio transmissions. Taylor says, "Both my compasses are out, and I am trying to find Port Lauderdale, Florida. I am over land, but it's broken. I'm sure I'm in the Keys, but I don't know how far down, and I don't know how to get to Port Lauderdale." The weather now gradually starts getting worse. At 4:56 p.m., Taylor feels that their aircraft have actually reached over the Gulf of Mexico. So, now they will have to fly in the east direction to return to Florida. Therefore, he now commands all the other planes to fly in the east direction. But there are some crew members present in the flight who feel that no, they are actually already in the east. They should fly west. Immediately after this order, a radio transmission is heard from one of the planes. "Damn it. If we could just fly west, we would get home. Head west, damn it." Meaning, the other crew members suspect that actually they should fly west to return home. But the weather keeps getting worse. The sun sets, and it becomes dark. At this time, it is believed that these planes were actually 370 kilometers east of Florida. At 7:04 p.m. in the evening, the last radio transmission comes from Taylor. "All planes close up tight. We have to ditch unless landfall. We all go down together." And after this, all 5 planes disappear forever. Till today, we do not know where these planes are. What happened to them? After the disappearance of Flight 19, a search and rescue Mariner aircraft takes off with a crew of 13 people. Its mission is to find Flight 19. It goes out searching, and it also disappears. First, the 14 people of Flight 19 disappear, and now the 13 people of this Mariner search and rescue aircraft disappear. After this, for many days, a very large air and sea search operation is conducted, one of the largest search operations of that time to find both these flights. But no trace is found. Neither is any human body found, nor is any broken piece of the aircraft found. Completely vanished. The interesting thing is that the area where both these planes disappeared is today known by us as the Bermuda Triangle. Over the 50 years, 3,000 ships, 100 planes gone missing in mysterious stretch water in the Atlantic Ocean. Missing. The source of mystery, legend, and fear. This is the Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is said to be a very mysterious part of the ocean, where more than 100 airplanes and ships went and disappeared, with no trace found. It is such an area that, from Florida in America to Puerto Rico and up to the country of Bermuda, it forms a kind of triangular area. Overall, this area is more than 500,000 square miles. Where this occurs, stories of the Bermuda Triangle are more than 500 years old. In the year 1492, when Christopher Columbus set out to discover the New World, he reported that when he was passing through this area, his compass stopped working. And one night when he looked toward the sky from his ship, he saw a very strange light that looked like a ball of fire, and that ball of fire was seen falling from the sky into the sea. From here, this mystery begins, and in the coming centuries, many names were given to this place. The Graveyard of the Atlantic, the Sea of Doom, Sargasso Graveyard. These were names that were used in the 18th and 19th centuries. But the name, Bermuda Triangle, was actually used for the first time only in 1964. There was a magazine called Argosy. A man named Vincent H. Gaddis wrote an article in 1964 in that magazine, titled the deadly Bermuda Triangle, and this was the first time the term Bermuda Triangle was used. In this article, he summarized many disappearances that had happened over the past many decades in the Bermuda Triangle and tried to link them and tried to create a mystery here that there is something in this area of the ocean that is very strange, because of which so many airplanes and ships go and disappear. However, in that article, no explanation was given as to why this happens, but because of it, the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle became one of the most popular mysteries of that time. So popular that many books were written on it, many films were made, many computer games were made, and even some songs were written about the Bermuda Triangle, talking about some other incidents. Another terrifying incident happened in the year 1918 involving the ship USS Cyclops, one of the biggest and fastest ships of the U.S. Navy at that time. It was a very important asset for the U.S. Navy, especially when America started taking part in World War I. It was used to transport troops and for coal transportation. On 4th March 1918, 306 people were aboard the USS Cyclops. From a city near Washington called West Indies, Baltimore, this ship departed toward Brazil. Apart from people, the ship also carried 11,000 tons of manganese. It was supposed to take around 9 days to complete this route. The ship departed safely. The weather was clear. A message came from the ship while departing. Weather fair? All well. But this message was the last message from this ship. After setting out on its route, there was no trace of it. Suddenly, it disappeared. This shocked everyone. One of the biggest ships of the U.S. Navy. How could such a big ship suddenly disappear? Now, if this incident sounds mysterious to you, then even more frightening and horrifying is the mystery of Ellen Austin. In the year 1881, there was a 210-foot-long ship named Ellen Austin. It was going from London to New York, a very common thing. At that time, many ships used to make this journey, but on the way, Ellen Austin spots an unknown ship, an unidentified ship near the Bermuda Triangle area. From the outside, the unknown ship looked completely normal, but inside it, there was not even a trace of any human being. There was no crew on the ship at all. No people were there. So, the captain of Ellen Austin thought, let me go and see what happened on this ship. First, they waited for 2 days near that ship, keeping their own ship alongside it, hoping that, if someone was there, they would find some clue, see some sign, get some response from the other ship. But no response came for 2 days. After that, the captain stepped onto the unknown ship. Inside this ship, there was a lot of cargo. Everything was where it should have been. At that time, people feared pirates, that pirates might attack their ship and steal the cargo. But this had absolutely not happened with this ship, because all the valuable items were safe inside it. For this reason, the captain of Ellen Austin decided to send some of his crew members to this new ship, and both ships would move forward together. For the first 2 days, both ships moved forward smoothly together, but then a storm came. Their paths separated, and the unknown ship disappeared. After the storm ended, the captain of Ellen Austin tried to find that ship, and in the distance, through his spyglass, he saw it. When they got closer, they found that once again there was not even a trace of any human being on that ship. The crew members whom he had transferred from his own ship to that ship had now suddenly disappeared. Where did they go? What happened to them? Nothing is known. But the ship itself was exactly the same and completely intact. It is said that the captain of Ellen Austin again tried to take the unknown ship along with him. He sent some more new crew members to operate that ship. But again, after 2 or 3 days, when a new storm came, the same story happened again. The unknown ship separated, and the new crew members also disappeared suddenly. When the ship of Ellen Austin returned, its owners became so frightened after hearing this story that they sold the ship to a German company, which renamed the ship Meta. Yes, you heard it right. The same renaming that Mark Zuckerberg did by changing Facebook to Meta. This ship was also renamed Meta later. Isn't it such an interesting and legendary story? But, unfortunately, friends, this incident is most probably just a story. Because this incident is very old, it is not possible to properly verify it. And the stories that are historically very popular, that have been passed down through generations but cannot be properly verified, where knowing the truth is not possible. We call those stories legends or urban legends. And many rational thinkers believe that the Bermuda Triangle is also a legend. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle. What are the reasons behind the incidents of the Bermuda Triangle? Many theories have been made regarding this. Some people blame aliens, saying that aliens came and took these ships and airplanes away with them. Some people say that there is a big sea monster under the ocean at this place that made these things disappear. Some people say that the sea itself here is such that all these airplanes and ships fall into it. These theories are very strange, but we focus on those theories that sound a little more scientific. One explanation is given based on magnetism. What is actually the matter, friends? The Earth's actual North Pole and the magnetic North Pole are two different points. So, when you look in the north direction using a compass, it is pointing toward the magnetic North Pole. But the actual North Pole is slightly different. It is called the geographic North Pole. You can see in this photo how much difference there is between the geographic North Pole and the magnetic North Pole. So usually when people use a compass, which they have been doing since old times, they take this thing into account. But there are some areas on Earth where, if you use a compass, you will see the magnetic North Pole and the geographic North Pole at exactly the same place. Such places are called agonic lines. These agonic lines keep changing over time. But over the past 200 to 300 years, the 0-degree line has remained around or inside the Bermuda Triangle area. This can basically create confusion. The second special thing about this area is that the area inside the Bermuda Triangle is very shallow. If you look at it on a satellite map, you will see that the Bahamas here and the Caribbean islands around it look very turquoise in color over a very large area. This is a part of the ocean where the water is not very deep. You can see that the deep ocean around it appears dark blue, and this area stands out separately when viewed from a satellite. Because of this, it is said that in old times, many ships that came here would get stuck because of the shallow water. Hidden shoals, if there were some such points under the sea where the ground rose up a bit, they were not visible from above. When ships moved over them, they would get completely stuck there. The third special thing is that this area has one of the highest amounts of hurricanes in the world. If you look at which countries see the most hurricanes in the world, China comes at number 1. But after that, number 2 is the USA, and then Cuba. Cuba lies in this area, and in the USA, which state gets the most hurricanes? Florida, which is also in this area. So, hurricanes and waterspouts occur with higher frequency in this region. The fourth explanation is given regarding methane hydrates. There are some areas under the sea where large fields of methane hydrates are found. Scientists in Australia conducted some laboratory experiments. They observed that when methane bubbles in water exceed a certain amount, the density of water decreases, and the buoyancy of a ship cannot be maintained, so the ship will sink into the water. It is the same logic as when there is more salt in water. The density of water increases, making it easier for things to float. Like in the Dead Sea, a normal person who would drown in the ocean floats on the Dead Sea because the water density is higher. The same thing is happening in reverse here. If methane is present in the water, it has been hypothesized that if methane eruptions occur under the water, also called mud volcanoes, underwater volcanoes erupt, methane comes out of them. Because of this, if it happens suddenly under a ship, the ship will suddenly sink into the water without any warning, and there will be no trace of it. Now, this is a very interesting explanation, but actually, regarding all the disappearances related to the Bermuda Triangle, no direct evidence has been found that any exact incident happened because of this methane phenomenon. It is just a scientific phenomenon that exists, but there is no proof so far that any ship disappeared because of it. The fifth explanation, in my opinion, is the most important explanation because it is related to human psychology. It is called the Baader-Meinhof effect, or the frequency illusion. The Baader-Meinhof effect, or frequency illusion, is a psychological effect where, when we start noticing something more, we begin to see it more around us. Remember, when someone in your family bought a new car, the model of the car you bought. After buying it, you must have noticed that, For the next few days or months, whenever you went out on the road, you started noticing that same car more. You feel like, oh, this car is appearing more on the roads. After we bought it, people started buying more of it. This exact thing. In reality, the frequency of that car on the roads has not increased. It was just as common before, and it is just as common now. But because you bought that car, you started noticing it more. The same thing is said about the Bermuda Triangle. It is true that some large ships and airplanes disappeared inside the Bermuda Triangle. But if you try to notice, you will find that in many areas around the world, in many oceans, ships and airplanes have disappeared in the same way, where the Bermuda Triangle was not present. A big recent example of this could be the Malaysian Airlines flight. That did not disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. Because the real thing is that when people heard about the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle, they started paying more attention to the disappearances that happened in the Bermuda Triangle, and they paid less attention to similar incidents happening outside the Bermuda Triangle. Journalist Larry Kusha, who wrote the book The Bermuda Triangle Mystery Solved, also came to the same conclusion. He said that, in the beginning, there were many incidents that actually happened. But over time, as the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle became a bigger mystery, some people started creating their own stories. Mystery mongering happened, and some stories were complete nonsense. They never actually happened. The story of Ellen Austin that I told you is said to be one such story. The United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says that there is no evidence that ships and airplanes that disappear in the Bermuda Triangle do so more frequently there compared to any other ocean area. There is nothing like that. Just as many mysterious disappearances are seen in other ocean areas as well. The United States Coast Guard even says that the Coast Guard does not recognize the existence of the so-called Bermuda Triangle as a geographic area of specific hazards to ships and planes, meaning the USA Coast Guard does not even recognize it as a harmful area. They said that the fact that the area within the Bermuda Triangle is heavily trafficked could account for some of the mystery. A lot of ship and airplane traffic passes through the Bermuda Triangle area, so the chances of incidents increase a bit. Pair that with the fact that the Bermuda Triangle is often swept by hurricanes and the presence of the Gulf Stream. It is not hard to see why ships might occasionally sink there. Apart from this, if you consider that this area has more hurricanes and shallow water, then you directly get the answer to the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. Despite these hurricanes, when WWF conducted its detailed study in 2013 on the world's 10 most dangerous bodies of water for shipping, the Bermuda Triangle area did not even appear in the top 10 most dangerous waters. So simply put, all these mysterious disappearances had nothing to do with the Bermuda Triangle. And if you now ask, what about what Christopher Columbus saw? That ball of fire falling into the water. What was that? That also has a simple scientific answer. Scientists believe that it was actually a meteor that Christopher Columbus saw. I hope you found the video informative. Thank you.